Hey, WAC people. This is the OCT, Octavius Haye, and I want to thank you for tuning in to our page today. We greatly appreciate it. If you are listening to the podcast, you can also find it on Podbean. The link will be in the description. And if you listen to our music, you can also listen on SoundCloud and DatPiff. Both links will be in the description also. And as always, please remember to like the video, leave a comment, and to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification button so you're informed every time we drop new content. Now enjoy this whack wisdom. I am whacking off.
It's the WACCast podcast, yeah.
Talk whack to me, talk whack to me,
yeah.
Talk whack to me, talk whack
It's
to me.
the WACCast podcast, yeah.
We talk whack right now, we talk whack right now, we talk whack right now, we talk whack right now.
Whoa. What is up, whack people? Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. I hope everything is amazing for all of you, as always.
WAC 24.
Whack. Is it 24?
It's 24.
Or 23? Oh, yeah, it is 24, huh? One over Jordan. Okay. I'm the Honorable OCT Octavius Haye, along with co-host, the Eerie E-Rob.
Okay.
Very eerie. And you are listening to the WACCast podcast. E, how you doing today, man?
Let's go, man. I'm doing good.
That's what's up, man. You ready to talk whack?
Let's talk whack to him.
Let's talk whack to him then, man. Okay, so I guess first of all, congratulations, celebrations. Bobby SHMURDA is out.
Ooh.
So that's a big thing that happened in hip-hop yesterday. Bobby SHMURDA was released from prison. And
Shout out
he's home.
2014. Yeah.
Is that when he got locked up?
I mean, that's when the songs came out. That's when they came to prominence. So, yeah, this is a different time. Wonder how the pandemic hit and the world changed and then come out to that. You know what I mean?
I know, right? This is a crazy time to come out of prison, man. What do you think's gonna happen from him, You think music? You think something else? Or like, if you do you want music?
Not really looking for it, but I feel like he probably has. I feel like he's such a heavy influencer that he'll have people anticipating it.
Yeah, well, Quavo went to go pick him up, so he still got ties in the music industry. I know before 6ix9ine got caught for snitching, he had recorded a verse for one of 6ix9ine's songs. So we'll see what happens there. I'm happy for him, man. Do you think that if he does go back to music, do you think that he'll be as successful, or do you think that time may have passed him by? His moment may have passed by?
Well, typically, I feel like you have this kind of time. You're in there working on some stuff, typically. You can't just do it. I mean, I feel like they had ways to work around it where maybe you could get a little bit done in there over the phone things and little snippets here and there, but really being able to go back to actual studios and stuff, I think he'll have something ready,
But do you think the audience will be there for it?
I think so. They'll be looking for it. It's been New York scene. And it always goes back to New York one way or another. So this is just that piece. He has a piece of the New York cap, New York pie, whatever. I'm sure he'll be able to just come with that. And then some of the songs just went platinum and gold, I guess, off his label. So I feel like he'll have to go through the label first off if we'll have a label struggle.
Maybe. That seems to be a thing that's happening now, as far as whether you're music or you're, TV shows. Dave Chappelle, he had a problem with Comedy Central, So it seems to be a thing going on with creatives right now. We'll see if there's a struggle. Famously, or infamously maybe, depending on how you look at it, he was on dancing on the tables for the execs. A lot of people kind of looked that a little way.
Cringy video at the time.
Yeah. So we'll see, man. If maybe you picked up on any books, you know how the typical you go to prison, you start black powering, you know, you become a Muslim and stuff. We'll see if that happens with him, man.
Prison didn't change me, made me worse. I surely hope not. You know, I hope you come out and lay low and just, man, just benefit off of this. You got gold. What do you say? 3 of your songs have been certified gold and platinum, man. Like, let's just handle this and be good, man. I don't know.
And that's been since he got out.
Yeah, that just happened.
Okay, well then that's a good sign that he does still have an audience that's willing to hear his music. So if he does decide he wants to put out some music, then there you go. You got that. Okay then. So like speaking of 6ix9ine, by the way, Tekashi 6ix9ine in the news for dissing deceased rapper King Von. You know, talking about quote unquote saying that he should wishing him to rest in piss. He got a lot of backlash about that, and his response pretty much was, well, when King Von was around, he was dissing Tooka, and Lil Durk was dissing Tooka. Now Tooka was a gang member or an affiliate of the Gangsta Disciples in Chicago who was killed in 2012, and even though he had passed away, they still both dissed him, even coined the term like smoking at Tooka. My question is, do you think 6ix9ine has a point where it's like, hey, they diss a dead person, I can diss a dead person?
And that's troll people logic, you know what I mean? But at the same time, this is some stick up for our homie, like one New York guy. I mean, can't really fault him too much, but at the same time, you can't talk about mine either. Like, so it's just both sides sticking up for their turf, I think, or whatnot, you know.
Yeah, but I think that 6ix9ine, regardless, I don't think that is right. I don't think that either one of them was right. I think they were both wrong. I think that Durk and King Von were wrong for talking about somebody past, and I think that 6ix9ine is now wrong for talking about King Von now he's passed. There's no reason to. He's not here no more. There's nothing to talk about. So,
and this is why I feel like some of this street stuff just keeps going on and stuff like this.
But I think the one thing that 6ix9ine is doing very well, I guess, is kind of arguing his case with the video of Tooka's mom crying about them talking about it. It does kind of make you look at it. It doesn't make him right, but it does make you say, yeah, they were wrong too, and it shouldn't happen. And I think Durk has kind of talked about stop doing that too anyway.
Yeah, because, you know, at this point when you're influenced, both of these guys, Chicago stuff, street stuff, or Chicago, New York, both known for the gang stuff. So, like, at this point, be better role models, pick another way, because that's just going to be going on, and some stuff you ain't going to be able to change. Like, both your homeboys dead. Y'all still over here potentially putting the next generation on some, you know, turbulence towards another.
Well, you know, no, Tooka wasn't a 6ix9ine homeboy. He was in Chicago. He just was he was against Durk and Von's gang. 6ix9ine just brought him up just to say, like, y'all dissing people that's dead, so I can diss people that's dead. He even brought up King Von talking about when he died, he want to beat up Tooka or something like that. He said. So
it was just disrespectful, disrespect stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Nah, they're very disrespectful, very, very wrong, man. And I wonder if it's kind of setting a trend, or maybe it's doing the opposite thing because there's so much backlash from it, and the way that 6ix9ine describing it. I wonder if maybe not setting a trend, or setting a trend of stop talking about that type of stuff. Stop talking about people dying. Stop being disrespectful about people dying. You know, when Larry King passed away. He had beef with I can't think of the guy's name now. Piers Morgan. He had beef with Piers Morgan. When Larry King left CNN, Piers Morgan took his time slot, and Piers Morgan's show kind of declined, and he went back, I think, to the UK. But Larry King and Piers Morgan were beefing with each other. So Piers Morgan put out like a thing saying like, yeah, he was a great broadcaster, but threw a little shade at him, and people called him out for it, said that was wrong, like he's dead. As far as like Larry King's dead, why are you dissing him now, Piers Morgan? I got it. And I know the Breakfast Club, they talked about that when it happened, and they were asking like, if you beef with somebody when they're alive, do you still beef with them when they're dead? I think Envy was like, yeah. I forgot what Charlamagne said, but I'm gonna ask you that question. E, if somebody passes away, do you still beef with them? Is the beef continued or is it over?
Well, I definitely feel like some people have things, oh, this one's going to the grave, or things like that going on. Even as we get to our next topic, you know, people hold on to things till that last second, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like it varies from person to person on these things.
Okay, I got you. Well, yeah, it does, and I think I agree with you on that too. And I guess it depends on the person. Like, even if Hitler dies, I'm not gonna stop saying bad things about him. But if it's somebody who just did something personal to me that I don't like, maybe I will leave him alone or not say nothing about him, or just keep my mouth shut. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. You know, right. One of those things. But yeah, moving on to the next topic. So I guess somebody snitched, man. Snitches. We came from 6ix9ine to another snitch. Somebody said that, came out and stated, former NYPD officer stated that under the direction of the NYPD and the FBI, he kind of had a hand in getting Malcolm X assassinated. So let's set the stage up. So pretty much, this was a black officer who he claims in a letter he wrote that he had put out after he passed away. So he's deceased now. But he stated that he was used to get, civil rights leaders incarcerated, like convince them to do illegal activities, and then since he's a cop, they get arrested. And that a few days before Malcolm X was assassinated, I guess like two of his big bodyguards, or two of the bodyguards he used regularly, he got them arrested. And then Malcolm X was assassinated, was killed, and he was told to be there. He said he didn't know what was going to happen, but he was told to be there. Malcolm X was killed. They ended up framing one of the people, so that because everybody was, witnesses were naming him, so they ended up having to frame somebody else to save him. So, what do you think about this? It's crazy, right?
It is, but I think it's like it's common that we see this happen. Things, because I've seen documentaries on it, and things stay conspiracy for a long time, and then it's documented facts, and it just becomes evidence, and it's like, well, how do you feel now? New evidence on it? Like, so I feel like this is just more stuff coming to light. Right?
I feel you on that. So you're saying that you, I guess, believe in what he's saying?
Well, these are documents. They got it, right?
What's a letter? It's his letter, but it's just his statement.
These are my confessions.
It's a confession, right? So, like, do you believe his confession? Do you think that maybe he's just somebody who wanted to get some notoriety before he passed away?
I mean, it seems like a setup. I mean, right? That's how he got it. He got shot with a shotgun in front of a lot of, like a stage in front of people, right?
Yeah.
It just seems like that could only be a setup, like.
Yeah, it was weird. I think on that documentary on Netflix about him, they were talking about how it was weird how they were able to get the guns in there. And my thing about, but my whole thing about it in general is, it's kind of like, yeah, us as black people already kind of knew that the FBI had something to do with it. It's like what it is. It's good to get that, like, I guess somebody who was on the inside confirming that, and it helps the case. But again, it is just his side of the story versus their side. It is he say, she say, or he say, they say thing. But what do you think about the narrative that the nation has something to do with it?
Well, I could say is the FBI was on it, right? Like, they was already looking at everything that he did, studying,
right,
phone tap, that kind of thing. So I feel like it could have infiltrated. They had somebody at a snitch inside job. That's what I see that as. Somehow somebody knew somebody close to him. Had to know some things to even get that set up and arranged, or you could just walk in like that.
So you think that the nation and the FBI work together to kill him? Is that what you're saying?
I can't tell. I don't know. Inside job, though. That's all I can say.
Okay. But you know, at that time he had cut himself off from the Nation of Islam. So he was his own person. He wasn't working with Nation of Islam, and so that's one of the reasons why it's a big rumor that, or it was believed that they had something to do with his murder. I did talk to my cousin, and she's part of the Nation now, and we had a good conversation about it. And she was saying that, she was saying, like, you know, of course she doesn't believe that Farrakhan. A lot of people say Farrakhan has something to do with it. She says she doesn't believe that Farrakhan or the Nation in general had anything to do with it. I did bring up there was I think it was like in one of their journals or something like that Farrakhan did say, I can't remember the exact quote, but pretty much what he was saying was, you know, Malcolm X was like he was our responsibility, something like that. Like, he was our responsibility, and if we chose to kill him, then that's how we chose to handle it. Something like that, you know? It was like a very, like,
he didn't really deny it. No,
he didn't deny it, but just was like, yeah, he was like, yeah, if we chose to do that, then he was like pretty much saying he was under us. So if we chose to do that, then that's our business. Pretty much is what he was saying. I can't remember the exact wordage he used, but it was that. And I brought this up to her. She said she didn't hear about that. And we talked about that for a minute, so she was cool about it, but kind of dismissive to the fact that could even be a possibility. But I mean, I guess I wouldn't expect less from her. She is part of the Nation. You don't want to think these people are killing people. You with them?
Yeah, you wouldn't know.
Right.
These allegations. So back to my word of the day, which is going to be discernment. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at these things and make your own decision on them. And there's still going to be some mystique, some mystery to it all still, you know what I mean? New evidences just come up, huh? So,
yeah, man, but real fast, I guess one more thing before we get off this. So the guy, his name is Raymond Wood. He claims that he was threatened that, not just on the Malcolm X thing, but like if he didn't help them incriminate black leaders, that they were going to give him time. Do you think that happened a lot back then? You think that black cops were put in a situation where, like, you gotta help us score with black people or we're gonna arrest you?
Well, just being a black cop is kind of, you're already on the edge a little bit. Do I do this for my people or do I do it for the badge? Or, you know, whose oath am I going to? Where's my loyalty going to be aligned to? Type, you have to make them kind of decisions today, and I would feel like.
But I'm saying, do you think that the decision was really out of his hand? Do you think that they kind of threatened him to make, or not just him, but he said that, but do you think that was a common thing where they would threaten the black officer with harm to them if they didn't go along with the racism and hurting other people? You think that happened a lot?
It has to have, I think so. Yeah, inside of the force, it's just the inner workings. You're the token, like, you're the only one there.
Right.
They gonna try you, or get with the care out of you, or, you know.
Now, do we hate him, or do we feel, or we understand him? What he had to do? You understand his side of the story? Or do we hate him for helping Malcolm X get killed?
Man.
Good question, huh?
Yeah. He made a decision. I'm sure it was a game time, and there's gonna be people agree with it and people that don't. So you're in the situation, you're taking all the whatever, all the scrutinies of being in there. Who knows? Was he bribed? Did they say?
No, they just say he was threatened. Like I said, he was just
threatened.
They threatened with jail. If in prison, they would like find some charges to lock him up with if he didn't help anything, not just with Malcolm X, but anything. That's what he claims.
I guess that's the test. Like, man, it was crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one. That's definitely a hard one. It's not so black and white. You know, he had decisions to make, man, and he chose himself. And I can't really say with surety. I would like to believe that maybe I would have just said, "Go ahead, lock me up," but when it's there in your face, bro, you don't really know. But it's right there, and it's like, oh yeah, you definitely going to prison. It's hard to say. You know, I wouldn't turn my people down. I mean, go against my people. So who knows, man? I guess before we get to the last topic of the day, I want to start this, man. I want to start talking about All American. It's one of our shows. We watch it. It's the funniest unintentionally funny show that's on TV right now. This past episode, I think me and you, E, we both had different opinions on it. This was what, episode 5, episode 6. And so that's the setup for this episode is, Spencer, after, confronting Coop about, him blaming her for him getting shot by Tupac. Yeah, I said Tupac. Well, he didn't get shot by Tupac, but Tupac people set him up to get shot. Or Tupac set him up for his people to shoot him. But after that, he goes to his father's cabin in the woods, and it's kind of sad, reflecting, and his friends come to cheer him up. Now, I didn't like the episode. I thought it was one of the worst episodes. You thought it was a really good episode.
Yeah.
So let's get your opinion. What you give some details, E.
Well, yeah. I feel like it really showcased some emotional range. Like, we're really happy right now. We're doing the friend thing. We're meeting up. We're having a cabin in the woods moments, especially as high schoolers. Like, right, we're away from the parents and seniors and stuff, so they kicking it, and then it just goes haywire.
Now, I like the dynamic of him reflecting, and kind of I like the letters because every letter was from a different stage of his dad's life. So I did like that, him reading after his father just found out his mom cheated, a little bit later, a little bit later, a little bit later, and kind of seeing how he grew. I thought that was really cool, how he did that. What I didn't like was that after the whole season of Olivia and Spencer staying away from each other, not talking because of whatever happened during summer, I didn't like that after all of that, they talked for 5 minutes. And not even it didn't even look sexual or a flirtation or anything like that. They were both sitting down in chairs separate from each other, talked for a couple minutes. She walked away, and now everybody, because spoiler, Spencer and Olivia were supposed to have been messing with each other during the summer. But now their significant others wow, they've really gotten close. This is the first time they've hung out this whole season for 5 minutes, and Olivia's boyfriend Asher hung out with Spencer longer when they were cleaning up than she did for the 2 seconds. She said, yeah, he was I don't want to read to my dad's mad. She was yeah, Spencer, but that's kind of the first letter. Read more. I was come on, bro. Y'all could have did way more than this. Y'all could have did way more if y'all wanted them to start being suspicious of their friendship.
Yeah, they kind of got angry at some crazy stuff. Towards the end, it just went, man.
I went haywire. Everybody started snitching on people that they weren't even mad at.
They were gonna take pickle juice shots. I don't know what exactly that was. I was this is odd. This seems odd.
It was some spicy pickle juice or something like that. Yeah. And then people started snitching
don't play drinking games with that. That's what I got out of this episode. Asher
snitched on Jordan for cheating his concussion protocol testing, and then Layla snitched on Olivia going to Mexico. I'm why is everybody telling on people? It was so bad. I thought towards the end it was kind of it was Tylerish. What you think of Coop this episode?
He was just Coop. She had a Coop moment pretty much. She just comes in and just oh man, why are you here?
I thought it was funny at the end when she was on the bed sad and Patience was stroking her head or whatever. Remember after when they had the little video montage at the end of it, she was just on the bed sad after she dropped them hot bars on him. She was you the one who got yourself shot. I told you leave me alone.
Man, shows are hilarious, unintentionally too. Cause the performances aren't bad. It just comes off funny sometimes.
Jordan's girlfriend being a great tennis player out of nowhere.
Yeah, stories all over the place. They're just filling in some details.
He was you played tennis? She was yeah, I was as good as Serena Williams. He was why didn't you tell me this? I was yeah, why didn't you tell her? He plays football all the time.
And I really think they decided to make her a little bit more prominent since the other girl got pregnant from the show, so I think they had to put some more camera time on her. No problem wrong with that.
Remember she was on the I don't know if it was the last episode, maybe it was the episode before, when she was I'm gonna go get my baby back, and we was thinking okay, I guess she's gonna have a worker go get the baby, but no, she just knocked on the people's door.
Some professionals, just un whatever.
She just knocked on the people's door what you gonna be hey, get my baby?
And that's exactly what it was. We just didn't have the words.
I'm like, okay, well maybe she got to go through like the people and like they'll go get the baby. You know,
there's procedures you could just do.
Right.
You have to be lined up to actually make this happen.
She just like, I'm about to go get him. And she like pulled up in front of these people's house. I'm like, oh my god. So it's a funny show, funny show. All right, then let's go ahead. You know, we'll get off of that. I guess go to the last topic for the episode, which of course is going to be us talking about E-Rob's new cult. That's it. You know, foundational Black Americans. So, what is a foundational Black American?
And I'm coming straight from the site, all right? Straight from
Yeah, too, man. Give me that definition.
A foundational Black American is any person classified as Black who can trace their bloodline lineage back to the American system of slavery. This is straight from the thing, so just got to say that. FBA. Foundation.
So you had to have been an American slave?
See, I'm not sure how these lines get drawn, and that's part of this whole bit with Mr. Tariq Nasheed. So,
okay, so Tariq, I know that's his thing, foundational Blacks. Who is Tariq Nasheed?
Tariq is a documentary filmmaker, guy, Hollywood musician slash
activist,
stuff,
yeah,
activist. Influencer, let's just say that. Right?
Okay. Okay, so he promotes this foundational Black. As far as like being foundational Black, and that's only, according to his words and what you read, only if you are from America. If your Blackness comes from America, as far as slavery, right? Or I guess he also claims that people were here before slavery.
Yeah, and so inside of this is somehow. I'm not sure where the date is. See, you have to go definitely link up to the site and go check some of this out. But as far as Tariq, I know him for the Hidden Colors and stuff, and that's even how I got on board.
Right.
Because he's known for me bringing together conscious minds who kind of think on these Black topics, and yeah, just the film series, his documentary series, really helped me see a lot of facts, and it pinned together people I would watch on YouTube. So that's another important thing. Having minds that would just be he's deep, straight play. You know what I'm saying? These guys are talking on, you know, heavy topics, and having all that in one collective spot, and having that's like a good like conversation starter to a lot of things.
Okay, now I get that, you know, and I've heard him talk. He talks about a lot of good stuff. You know, he brings up a lot of good points, and he does argue for, you know, the respect and for the respect of Black people, security of Black people. He does argue a lot of the right things. But I've also heard him, you know, whenever there's criticism of a Black person that's negative, he tries to use their location and say, well, they're not a foundational Black, they're Caribbean, they're from you know, from Latin America, from Europe, and he kind of uses that, either Africans. And he kind of uses that as a way to divide and say, well, the reason why they do those bad things is because they're this type of Black, and that's less than what we are. We are the supreme Blacks, right? We are the top of the line Black people. Do you think that supports division?
I think that's just American pride programming, whatever that is. It's like American division.
Okay. Let me see. Now, when you say that's American pride,
I don't know.
Is he not critical of Americans?
Yeah.
Is he not critical of the way that America has treated Blacks?
Yeah, this is like one of my heavy things, and I see it like this. Wherever you're from, let's just say in like terms of hip hop, from New York, of course I'm gonna be like, we got the best rappers, whatever. I'm from there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you on that, and that's true, but I think that when that becomes a different thing is when it's no longer like just for as like bragging rights, but when you're trying to demonize somebody and say that they're bad, not I'm better than them at this, but they are bad because they're not a foundational Black. They are Caribbean, and that's why they're bad. They're Latin America.
the conversation kind of comes into this half and half thing, and what if my mom is one part and then my father is another part, and it becomes this split alliance thing for a lot of people who are really in that spot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where the divisive is come at. Like, and maybe you don't want to. Maybe you are half, Haitian or something, and you want to claim that other part or something. Like, I don't know how these lines get drawn right there, and I feel like a lot of people are in that right there, that space.
I just think that what we need to do, regardless of if you say you half of this, half that shouldn't even be a factor. I think what we need to make sure we don't do is become the same, is start adopting the policies of the same enemy that we claim to be against, which is categorizing people and sticking them to what we classify them as. So you're this type of black, so no matter what, you're not on this level, instead of making it an individual thing, which I think should be more of what we need to do. And if we're fighting for our equality and our rights, and then we start having infighting about, well, we're fighting for our rights, but we're actually the more important black people to you, it's only going to hurt us when we're already at a disadvantage as far as numbers wise, minority wise. And then on top of that, we want to attack each other and say it's you're not black enough, is what is essentially what I think that foundational black thing is saying, is you're not black enough.
Well, I know one of the things is some of the key words that things get benefits for is benefits for immigrants, benefits for like minorities, for like a specific thing. And that's also where some of the division kind of comes in at.
How so?
You claim like just being able to get that, like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, as far as like you said, so you said it's benefits for immigrants. You said that's where the division comes from. What do you mean by that? You know what I'm saying? Are they in support of benefits for immigrants, or are they not support of benefits for immigrants?
Well, it's also what are we in fight for? Like, I would say it's just so hard to get on with this completely, and this is kind of where I'm kind of in the conundrum too. Like,
I mean, well, you fight for your self-respect. You fight for your, because Tariq's whole thing is he wants to stay in America, and I agree with him. I don't think that we should have to leave. I agree with him a lot. A lot of what he said, I do agree. We shouldn't have to leave. We did build this country. We should be able to reap the benefits of the country that we had a huge part of building. We gave free labor for hundreds of years. So now we gotta make the government work for us. I agree with that. But I think where I start to lose him is when he starts to try to say, well, the only reason there are bad black people is because they're from other places. And I get where his logic is with that a little bit more after that video you sent me, where he's talking about, well, he's saying that because they didn't have to go through our struggles, but they did have to go through struggles. Every black person that was taken from Africa had to go through struggles, whether it's Europe, Latin America, Caribbeans, they all had to go through struggles, all go through struggles just like we do. And so when you try to downplay what they had to go through, and when you try to make it a race thing, or a race thing, or a region thing, I should say, depending on what region that their ancestors happen to be dropped off in, when you try to make that defining thing, or the defining, way that you determine who's black enough or not, you're only causing, division among your people when we need to be trying to unify if we're really trying to get our message of, equality across. We can't be we can't be telling other people we need equality when we're not being equal with each other.
And he's kind of holding controversial hot topics recently. He's like, one of the things he said is unity overrated, some of this that he discussed, and I was like, and one of the things is also dual allegiances, like, how do you pledge to be like American? Because I feel like he's going for a specific group, a specific ethnic group that can be traced back to, I guess, the American.
Okay.
And I feel like a lot of us don't even know that. So maybe a first step to a lot of this would be figuring out our lineages more. I feel like that should be government sponsored. If there's an ancestry.com or something, like that should be some stuff we could be able to pay and find out, so we can, the answers have these more be drawn out to where it should go. Like,
Okay. All right. Well, I guess before we go, I hear what you said, man. Before we go, though, we going a little long here. Do you? One last real question. One last question, real fast. Do you think that Tariq, he has dictator tendencies? The way he talks, the way he communicates with people, and his beliefs.
well, I think he's the face of just a very controversial and uprising type deal. Because I feel like there is an attack on these niggas, people finding out who they are and be able to get the power back and make it influence. Like, there's some that wants that, and there's some that would not want that. And he's just the face right now, man. They're gonna find the good, the bad, and the ugly, and people love him, people hate him. I think that just comes with it. Easy to hate, hard to understand.
I feel you, man. Okay, so I guess I'll say my piece about it. I do think that he exhibits dictator behaviors. As far as I know, I remember one time you saying like you were like I don't if it was fake, I wouldn't imagine him going as hard. As far as like his opinions and fighting. And I remember saying to you, that's what dictators do. Nobody wants to follow somebody who isn't passionate about what they believe in. Like, that's what dictators do. They go hard and they say a lot of what you think because they're not trying to turn you away, they're trying to bring you in. They need followers in order to be the dictator. And I think that whenever you have somebody who preaches division and classification, especially classification within your own race, and he has his colors and he waves his flag, and I think when you do that, when you have somebody like that, it's always a danger of them becoming dangerous if they get more power. And it's okay to like support somebody, but you have to keep the people that you support in check and be willing to say, hey man, you're out of pocket right now. So I'm gonna just leave it at that with Tariq.
I'll just say, just use discernment, and everybody has a right to change their opinion, change their minds about things, and that happens,
Couldn't have said it better myself, man. Well, E, you got anything else to say before we wrap it up for today?
That's it, man. This is heavy topics, believe it or not. I'm glad to talk about this, man. Love my people, black people, Negroes, niggas. Anybody falls in that umbrella, man.
You gotta listen to niggas.
You gotta listen.
Alright then, man. Hey, thank everybody that listened. Thank you so much for listening, tuning in again, taking in our whack wisdom.
Yes.
We do hope that you return to us next week. Get some more whack for your day. But again, thank you so much. Have a nice day. And this is the WACCast podcast, and we are whacking off.
WACCast podcast, yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.
Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack
It's
to me.
the WACCast podcast, yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.
Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.